Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. This is the next episode of the Uninterrupted podcast. How you doing today, PSX? Do you have an announcement to make? Wait, you're not speaker yet. I think CENTCOM, we're still waiting on Lunkburn Army. I believe PSX is looking for him. So we can probably start chit-chatting a little bit. And can you hear me fine?
I can hear you just fine. How are you doing, Jerry?
I'm doing great. We just had a space not too long ago.
I know.
There's
I tried listening in, but it was hard to follow because of all the, dropouts there. But still, sounded nice.
Yeah, it was tough to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely pushed through. It's just something we'll have to circle back for a round two. I mean, we still had fun, just trying to get her back in and trying to cover as much as we could within a short amount of time. But real quick before we continue, can we get LBA in here? It's like I just noticed he is not in here. Jerry?
I messaged him, but I messaged him on Discord.
Okay.
Do you want to hit him up on Twitter?
Yeah, I'll hit him up, and then if you want to go ahead and just we'll just kind of give it a few more minutes, and we'll return to our regularly program.
Well, if for whatever reason he doesn't show up, I guess we can just continue the conversation because he's still working on some issues with the latest upgrade, so he might be kind of busy doing that, and then he just lost track of time. Perhaps.
That's all right. Well, once he pops in here, we'll turn it over to him and do some catching up. But real quick, I want to do a quick disclaimer. This podcast should not be considered financial advice. The content of this broadcast here and or other platforms are for educational and entertainment purposes only, and only cite our personal opinions. In order to make the best financial decision that suits your needs, please conduct your own research and seek the advice from a licensed financial advisor if necessary. Real quick, I do want to give a shout out to one of our own teammates. If she's not in here, shame on her. She probably fell asleep because she's based out in Australia. She is one of our provides pre-production support for our graphics, and her name is Miss JB. And what I've done is I want to give her a quick shout out on one of her NFT projects she's been really active in, and that's actually nested in the space above. If you guys want to check that out, and if you can vote for her work, it's Snip G. That's SNIP G. Snip G. She would be greatly appreciated and in a great way for. Oh, there she is. She's down there, Miss JB. We just shilled you. So yeah, didn't want to leave you out of it on this conversation. I wanted to show us a lot of love and our support and our way of saying thank you for all the work that you've helped us through our evolution of this podcast.
So it was this Miss JB who created this new mask for me?
Exactly. Yep. This is the one and only.
Got it. Thank you. I like it.
All right, and with that, I know we had this was intended to be a round table, but we'll go ahead and start this off with Mr. Sincom. Thanks for being here. Give us it. Let's see, so much going on in such a short period of time. We just hit parity, and what is that? You know, it means a lot to a lot of different people, depending on who you ask. But for in this case, what are your thoughts and what do you anticipate may or may not happen going forward with White Whale and Luna Classic? Like, what opportunities are you seeing right now?
That's a question I need to make it short. Otherwise, I'll keep talking for 15 minutes on that one. But in essence,
Take your time.
in essence, this allows us, so as you know, the White Whale team and the whale community and the Migaloo blockchain and the teams building with us, this allows us to, develop a new market, namely Luna Classic. Because before, Luna Classic was a little bit, in its own corner of the world. We couldn't deploy our apps there. We couldn't connect the apps with different chains. But now, this huge ecosystem, still huge. I mean, it's crazy. I think Luna Classic still ranks in the top 80 of all cryptocurrencies after everything that what happened. They're still a top 100 coin. That's not. I don't think everybody can claim this after the meltdown. This community experience, and I think everybody in here experienced. So for us, it is a huge new market to discover and develop that will bring lots of value to our community, our token, our ecosystem. That's from purely White Whale Migaloo perspective.
Go ahead, PSX. I was going to ask something, but I don't want you to forget.
Yeah, no. I'm just trying to get my head wrapped around like top 100, but you said top 80. How is that? I mean, I'm still trying to get my head wrapped around what you just said. Like that's a lot to take in. I mean, I was aware that this community was big, but how did you guys find that it was we were even remotely in the top 100? I mean, there's thousands of projects, and I was thinking like maybe top 200, but I mean, I'm trying.
We're
that's
not.
something to
White
be
Whale
proud
is
of. I'm
not
just
in the
trying to
top
figure out like
100, but Luna Classic is.
what the
Luna
fuck.
Classic is
Yeah.
74. I mean, you should know this. Just
Well, I mean,
checking
I
it
mean,
in. CoinGecko
there
74.
I look at it every day, but PSX probably doesn't.
I don't have time to look at anything. I just like, okay, that looks cool. That looks cool. Hey, let's talk to him. He's got a cool mask, a Venetian mask. Let's see if we can give him an upgrade. I'm paying attention to those things, and I'm learning as I'm going. But as far as keeping up with who the top which is what, I mean, that's just. I mean, I guess it's not something I really had time to really consider.
Well, Sencom, what do you think the relationship with 2.0 is with Luna Classic and the sex moving forward? Because you're already on 2.0, is that correct?
Yeah, we are on Luna 2. I don't know how the relationship will continue. So far, I think there hasn't been much in terms of. I mean, the community, sure, the Terra Classic community or the Luna 2 community, they come from Luna 1. I mean, everybody got his tokens airdrop. I think that makes a lot of sense, and a lot of people still hold both communities and tokens very dear. So I think they're quite close in terms of development, especially from TFL, I think they're gonna focus mostly on Luna Classic, so it will be in the hands of the Luna Classic communities and the teams building there to really get the ecosystem up and find their new place, their new identity.
All right, you better have a good explanation, LBA. Just kidding. Thanks for coming up. Go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we'll get to CENTCOM, and then we'll get this started because the interaction here is what we were looking for.
Yeah, hey guys, sorry I'm a few minutes late. I was at soccer with my son today, and yeah, I just took him there and just got back. So yeah, I'm the project manager for the L1 team, and I'm happy to be here talking with CENTCOM about some exciting new things coming to the Luna blockchain hopefully soon, and then we'll go from there.
And welcome, CENTCOM, to the podcast. You're the man with the plan over at White Whale, and let everyone know what your position is over there, and introduce yourself, and then we'll get it going.
Sure. So thanks for the kind introduction. I'm CENTCOM. You can also call me David. I'm doxed. You can find a video of me shaving my head at a conference in Prague 2 weeks ago. I'm CTO of White Whale. I've been doing this for a while now, and my job is mostly to, develop the tokenomic systems and keep track of everything that's happening. Because White Whale, we're a validator with a lot of validators on different ecosystems. I think 8 figures. We have our own blockchain Migaloo, and we have our cross-chain app, the White Whale protocol. And I'm very excited to talk with you guys about the parity upgrade and the path forward for Luna Classic.
BSX, your hand is up.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask, like, like, did your hair grow out already, or are you still bald? Like, where are we at? What's the status on your
So
hair?
it's a funny story. So we had this marketing campaign with this venture fund that did the conference because they launched a new product and we were like their launch partner. And there were some community milestones in terms of decentralization. And if we reached them, there were some giveaways and biggest prize is I have to shave my head. So, but actually they wanted to get me a tattoo first. But I told them no tattoo. So they wanted to shave me, and one night at a party, last day of the conference, the CTO of Rockaway got to me, hey dude, we shave your head on stage. And we do it like 2 millimeters or something. I said, guys, listen, I'm German. I can't do 2 millimeters. We have to do a little bit longer. So we went for 6 millimeters. And some have grown back, but I think I'm losing some hair. I'm starting to grow old. Didn't notice this before.
It happens to all of us. So, out of curiosity, was Luna V-Shape at that party as well?
Unfortunately not. I talked with him, but he was otherwise occupied.
No, he's already bald anyway, so it wouldn't have been much of a challenge for him. So he shaves his head, guys. He's not actually fully bald. So I'm excited to hear about some of the utility that's coming over. But as far as parity goes, let's have Lunkburn kind of start and see where they're at as far as utilities coming over. And then CENTCOM, if you could chime in and let us know what utilities you're thinking of.
Oh God, is LBA rugging too? It's been a rug day.
Sorry, I just I it cut out there for a second, Jerry. Could you repeat that?
Yeah, if you could just kind of let us know where the parity's at right now, and as far as utilities coming over, and then CENTCOM can tell us about what utilities he's thinking about that could benefit Luna Classic.
Yeah, so I mean, the Cosmo Awesome upgrade has been completed. We're doing like some post-production support right now, where we're, taking care of some of the challenges that have come up after the upgrade. So we're in the process of, fixing some of those bugs. Some are smaller, and then there's obviously the larger one with AS report and the swaps between USTC and LUNC. That is currently being looked at and worked on. The TerraSwap folks are working on migrating their contracts. So we can't control who updates their contracts or not, right? We upgraded the system, gave everybody lots of warning. So anyway, we hope that it'll be resolved very quickly, and we'll be all set there. So now it's any DApp can launch on the Classic much easier. Particularly the V2 apps can launch over here. So we encourage them all to come over. There's been some community members that have been reaching out, and I know there's some discussions going on with a few folks. So we hope to see some news there. I've been focused on some of these bug fixes, like there's one in Station, as an example, that we have to address, where you can see all of the other governance voting, except you can't see the current vote. So you can see what passed, you can see deposit, you can see everything. But on Station Mobile, you can't see governance. So we're looking into that. So we're more focused on that sort of thing. But I encourage all of the DApps to come over. It would be great.
Right on. And as far as the mobile is concerned, that was a TFL thing. So I'm sure you guys have something a plan for that. But that's time for another conversation. CENTCOM, like, I know we had conversations previously, and I know which utilities I'm excited about. But tell us what the plan is moving forward, and what's the most exciting things coming forward.
Oh, that's a tough question, because I think there are a lot of exciting things to come. And what you have to understand about White Whale is we're a team, and we do these various endeavors with the blockchain, our app, the validators. But we operate, or we started to operate in what I call some kind of a loose joint venture. So it's not like written in contracts, but it's still a common goal, a common vision, with multiple teams working together. And this runs under the umbrella of hashtag Ride the Whale, or the Ride program or group. And by the way, retweet this space here with hashtag Ride the Whale, so more of the whale community can find it. I already did. And so the White Whale team, we have a DEX and flash loans and MEV bots. So DEX, like normal DEX with incentives, with we can trade tokens, open pools, and so on, standard experience. Then we have flash loans, which allow capital efficient arbitrage liquidations. Then we have our MEV bots that tie into our DEX and the flash loans, that allow users to arbitrage between different DEXs or do liquidations on lending markets, which again increases traffic, increases fees, all that good stuff that you need for a vibrant ecosystem. But this is just White Whale. And I don't want to dive too much into the reasoning of why we have this joint venture and how it formed. But we have multiple teams that decided to build with us, because they saw the benefits of not just building on one chain, but on building on their cross-chain apps on multiple chains. And they, for various reasons, they decided to go with us. And now wherever White Whale goes, this loose joint venture, all the different teams, they take a look at this chain, this ecosystem, the community, how what's the path forward, the vision, and then they decide, hey, do we want to go there as well? And more often than not, they decide, hey, let's just go there as well. So actually, we have one of those teams here in the call. It's Backbone Labs. I assume it's JG behind the skeleton logo. And then we have Eris Protocol. Eris does these. I think they're already live on Luna Classic, but it's not fully supported with their liquid staking token and some DeFi automation tools. Backbone Labs, they have an NFT marketplace, and they have another liquid staking protocol. And just recently joined the program is Raccoon. They're a quite small team. I think they originated from Juno, but they're pivoting away now to go more cross-chain. And they do games and gamblings and various, fun applications.
Yeah, so I mean, I think, when we've spoken and when Jerry, myself and yourself and PSX spoken, you guys, the types of applications and utility you provide, I think are an excellent fit. We have, for our community, we have a very vibrant, very large community that is very eager and have been waiting a long time for these types of applications to come here. As uh, you guys are a perfect example of an application that really was waiting for this parity upgrade, or a set of applications that were waiting for this parity upgrade because it fits technologically. We have the user base now. We've built the foundation. We've built like the arena, and now it's time to fill it. And I think we've got the user community that is, it can be a passionate community, but that's good too. And I think that, the community is waiting and eager to welcome DApps with open arms.
Real quick, I had a random idea, Jerry. Something I know. I don't know if you're going to hate me for even mentioning it. I know you're working on a round of NFTs that include whales. That's tied into Luna Classic. But here's a contest idea that I want to throw out at you randomly, just publicly here in the open. But for everybody who shares a space with a hashtag Ride the Whale, for those random winners picks, Jerry will send you guys send the winners these new NFTs that he's developing in regards to White Whale coming on board with us. Jerry, feedback.
You're talking about the Sapiens, or are you talking about the the ones I didn't tell anyone about?
Well, the ones that I just told everybody about in this space.
Oh, the ones for White Whale?
Yeah.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah. That totally put you on the spot, and you're like, man, I'm gonna punch you in the face. So yes,
I can do a whitelist type of.
There you go. Like, yeah, like for everybody, share this space, hashtag ride the whale, and then include Jerry in that, so that he'll do random picks, and then so once that launch for that special occasion and celebrating white whales onboarding with us, I think that would be a great way to welcome them.
And keep in mind, so those NFTs will be on the White Whale blockchain specifically, and I do want to be able to. It'll be Cosmos based, so there should be some ability to interact with different marketplaces as well. So hopefully with Backbone Labs, there's going to be a very nice interaction there, because Sencom Backbone has something to do with NFTs as well, right?
Correct. They have their own NFT marketplace live on Terra right now. They just received a grant from the whale community to build a cross-chain NFT marketplace on Migaloo now. And JG, give me a thumbs down if I'm wrong. I think you're also planning to bring your NFT marketplace to selected new chains. So also, within this, cross-chain vision of building apps cross-chain. And really, not only do they, have these NFTs, they also have these grave diggers, liquid staking tokens, where they distribute some of the yield of the protocol. So actual yield of, for example, Bone Whale, their liquid staking token of Whale. They dedicate some of that, the revenue of the app, to holders of the NFT collection. And that, I believe, is one of the coolest fusions of DeFi and NFT because you can earn real yield with your JPEGs. So that's pretty awesome. And yeah, they do all around a lot of stuff around NFTs. So I think they're the best place to go to if you want to launch a collection here in the Cosmos.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to having a conversation with Backbone. Would love to have you guys on sometime as well. You did mention another protocol or their project down there that is associated with your guys's well, the group that you said the
Yeah.
venture, the and I followed Backbone Labs there, but I didn't catch the other one. I can't find it in the sea of people.
Well, you have Eris Protocol, but they're not here. They're just part of our group. Eris Protocol, you probably know the guy, 0x Philip. He got an app on Luna Classic already. But then there's also Raccoon. Again, also not part of the space here right now, but those are the guys who do games and gamblings. It's like not a huge team. I think there are like 2 or 3 guys, but they have a lot of marketing or a lot of community, and they have cool games where you can play with your tokens.
Nice. So, I mean, I'm not sure if everyone's catching what they're hearing, but this is I'm hearing it and I'm getting excited because before we couldn't do much with Luna Classic. And now with these things coming over, like I'm excited about the staking, the liquid staking, the lending borrowing protocols and things like that. And I know I'm going on and on. PSX probably has a very important question.
Yes, more important than what you're saying right now. More important. Anyways, keep going. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, so real quick, I a couple of points. I did mess up Syncom's getting a haircut publicly. Okay, and then two, I've nested Backbone. So if you guys can give them a follow, kind of keep up to date. So sharing the love, sharing the vibes, and also give Syncom a follow if you haven't already. And then another thing that I wanted to point out, or to try to bring clarity, I wanted to make sure Migaloo is the name of the blockchain that White Whale sits on. Is that correct?
Yeah, 100% correct. So
okay,
we have the White Whale validators, but those are owned by the team. So they're just team stuff. But obviously you can delegate to them to support the team. Then you have the White Whale protocol, which is a cross-chain app primarily built by the White Whale team. And then there's the Migaloo chain, which is fully decentralized, layer 1 blockchain.
Awesome. So people need to start buying White Whale. Not financial advice. I'm just telling them what to do, basically, in a nutshell.
Well, I mean, it's not a bad idea if you're invested in the Cosmos. I think a majority of this audience already are a part of that, to be honest, because I've talked to tons of lunatics that have White Whale. In fact, close friend of mine, Luna V-Shape, a lot of you guys know him. I think he's one of the whales over there, right, Syncom?
He is the biggest whale. Luna V-Shape, the guy. So I've been in the DMs with him for quite a while now, and the guy he's hilarious. He's fun. And he's a huge whale supporter. So he's, I think, the biggest supporter in terms of tokens bought off the market there is.
Right on. So I'm excited about the liquid staking, lending, borrowing protocol. Is that one of the first ones that could probably come over? And I see Backbone Labs down there. They're pretty excited about it. Are they also planning to piggyback off of you and come over right away? Or is it going to be something there's going to be some market testing?
So we don't have any lending and borrowing market, unfortunately, in our group. We're looking for teams to expand our joint venture with lending and borrowing. But right now we don't have this. Flash loans is something different. This is more a developer-focused product that allows you to take unlimited funds, but you have to pay them back in the same transaction. So it's not really lending and borrowing like everybody knows. Regarding Backbone Labs, I can't speak for them. They have to decide, but I think given their strong alignment with with Luna, I'd be surprised if they weren't to join us.
Well, they're associated with NFTs, so I'm definitely excited if they come over because I love my NFTs, and competition's always good. And I heard nothing but good things about them from talking to people that are in the whale community. So, Lungburn Army, you've been a little bit quiet. Do you have something to chime in?
No, I was just going to say, like, all of these applications, right, that White Whale offers, they're ideal in the sense that, if we're looking at supply reduction, we have a burn tax that's been applied now. It's sitting at 0.5%, and 0.5%, and volumes seem to be stable. And if we can increase the volume 2, 3, 4, 5 times on the Luna Classic blockchain, that will help matters greatly. So I think these types of applications are ideal. But like the key to any economy is the movement of funds, right? So if everybody here just holds on to their funds, and every single Luna Classic holder, the only transactions they do are stake and then withdraw and then restake, uh, not going to see the same level of recovery or speed of recovery as if there are a lot of funds circulating in a very vibrant ecosystem where people are using DApps, they're using the utilities that come over and purchasing and selling NFTs. They're playing games and doing all of these good things that they can be doing. Particularly some of the games, I mean, you play to earn, and so those are positive things as well, where you don't just have to spend money, and it's all about trading, right? Trading creates lots of volume. So if there's functional dexes that are working, these are all positive things that we need to embrace, in my as an investor. So anything to increase transaction levels and transaction volume will help with the speed of the recovery.
This is a fantastic point you say there, or you mentioned there, Lungburn Army, because how do I phrase this best? So what we're providing here in this ride group, in this joint venture, is basic building blocks. So it's not the most sophisticated DEX. It's not the most sophisticated flash loans or NFT marketplace, but they're basic building blocks. Like, this is what you build on top of. You build more sophisticated products. Right now, there is unfortunately not too many basic DeFi building blocks on Luna Classic that are still fully supported by teams backing them. So it's hard to build on top or to build a skyscraper if you don't have the foundation. And one way to look at what we're doing is we bring this, foundation, a DEX, flash loans, liquid staking, NFT marketplace, and games is a little bit off the side here. But those other things, they're basic building blocks. And once we deploy our own Luna Classic, there's the foundation is there, and then people can start building on top. And this is where it gets really interesting. The DEX is just the foundation to swap tokens, the heart of the economy, basically. But what makes the economy is actually what happens on top. So the reasons why you exchange. And that's where it becomes interesting. And I think Luna Classic is in a unique position here with this huge market cap, this huge idle capital, both in terms of money, liquidity, but also social. People are waiting for something, waiting to use anything. I think you guys are in a really unique position to capture on that and create a massive momentum. But make no mistake here, I think you got one big shot here at this, and you need to make it count, because now that Luna Classic is open, there is competition, with other chains, of course. So you need to make sure that the apps that come, they get the full support, because then other developers and projects, they look at this and they see, wow, I deploy there and everything soars up. And then, you get the ball rolling. And from then on, things can go very, very quickly.
That sounds awesome. So, Lunkburn, I'm going to put you on the spot here. I'm suggesting that maybe we add a little bit more workload to the L1 task force, because I think with all these utilities that could potentially be coming over, the burn tax could potentially be improved and do exactly what everybody wants. And Brian, if you give me a thumbs up if you're open to helping me out with this, what if I put up a proposal to change the burn tax to a buyback burn, because that's kind of what helps stabilize other tokens. And is that something that you would be excited about? Because I think the community would be really excited, especially all the people that are on the burn side of things, because a buyback burn is a heck of a lot more viable when it comes to stabilizing.
So Jerry, can you explain your buyback burn methodology versus what we currently have?
Yeah, so the funds that are taxed in the tax would essentially buy Luna Classic, but right now it is Luna Classic. So I'd have to do some thinking with a think tank about how that would be accomplished. But essentially, like Binance with their decks and things like that. And I think CENTCOM has the answer. So maybe I don't have to go to the think tank. Go ahead, CENTCOM.
Yeah. So I don't want to dive too much into the economies and tokenomics here, but just to make it really short, I think crypto or blockchain technology, they enable us to do something that we weren't able to do in the, let's call it, legacy finance world before. Because, in the world we live in right now, you have a currency, fiat, that's either inflationary or deflationary. And as LBA pointed correctly out, you need a mild inflation to spur and encourage economic activity and growth. That's why, for example, Switzerland or the US, they aim to have around 2% inflation per year. But crypto enables you to do both at the same time. And this is where it becomes really interesting. You can have a token that's mildly inflationary to spur or to encourage economic growth, but at the same time have enough economic activity to burn more than it's inflated. So you have an asset that you can stake, and your stack of your share of the network grows because you get tokens. Your stack grows. But at the same time, while your personal stack grows, the total supply decreases, deflation. And then by this, you get both of best worlds. And this is truly a fantastic thing. And I think economists will, do their thing in the coming years about this new economic model. And we're trying, at White Whale and Migaloo, we're interested in this ourselves. So the Migaloo community or the whale community, they're interested in having a burn, similar to you guys, a burn tax on the transactions. So we probably intend to burn 50, if not 100% of the transaction fees that are generated on Migaloo. Just throw it away. But this shouldn't be, this is just one part, because this scales with transaction amount. So lots of transactions, a lot of burns. But you can also have different burn mechanisms on the app level. So just to give you an example, so we have our blockchain, and eventually all the fees or part of the fees will be just, thrown away, just burning. But we also have our cross-chain app. And on that app, we take a fee. So every time you do a swap on our app, there's a fee that's taken in whatever token. And once a day, all the fees collected are used to buy back whale from the open market. And eventually, on the one hand, you have, on the chain itself, you have this burn mechanism, and on the markets, you have this buyback mechanism. And of course, you can then decide what to do with the tokens you bought back. You can burn them, you can distribute them, you can do both, you can do whatever. And I think to create a really sustainable ecosystem, you need to tackle all levels of the stack. You need to do it on chain, but also on the app level. That's the bottom line. So I think the answer is, personally, I think the answer is keeping some tax or just burning transaction fees, and at the same time creating or having apps that do buybacks and then potentially burn or potentially distribute the funds.
Well, it sounds like a layer 2 solution then. So I'll Brian gave me a thumbs up. I'll start the conversation with him, and then we'll see what we can do. And CENTCOM, I'd love to talk to you about it as well. That way we see what we can do. Maybe the L1 team doesn't have much of a uh, you know, part of it, except for maybe, making sure that we can do it correctly. But I think getting a buyback burn is going to accelerate things a heck of a lot faster. So PSX, go ahead.
Yeah, I had this random idea. Hopefully, it doesn't fall flat on its face. But a question for CENTCOM: does Whitewell or Megaly, you guys don't have your own wallet? You guys, it's just kept right now. It's Kepler and Terra Station, and who else? Is am I correct? Like Megaly, there's no Whitewell wallet of any kind.
Correct.
Okay, because I had this idea, and please don't laugh at me, but I'm going to give it a shot. It's more like me pitching an idea. But what if you got Migaloo, which is the blockchain itself, and then Whitewell has its own wallet, and we can call it Moby Dick. And then you could probably pitch it out there and say, "Don't be a dick, grab a Moby Dick wallet." What do you think, man? Feedback.
I'm not commenting on this, but I think the name is hilarious.
Well, so one of the things that come, I 100% agree, Jerry. With relation, we currently have our tokenomics somewhat, I wouldn't recommend making any wholesale changes right now. Let's collect more data. But layer 2, for sure, you could do all sorts of different things there if you want, to do some sort of buyback burn mechanism. I think that's perfect. The key, though, in terms of this economic model, like CENTCOM said, is use. If there's not use, then that model will work, right? But I think the positive thing here is that we have a community, like CENTCOM said, that has been waiting for a long time, and we're going to see. I hope we're going to see a large volume of transactions on chain. And one of the things I think is an important thing philosophically to talk about is how do we incentivize liquidity to come back on chain that might just be sitting on exchanges, right? And I think that if there's incentives for people and opportunities for people to make money, on the chain through whatever means, the apps, or whether it's liquid staking or any other ways where they can get a really good return on their investment, you're potentially going to see more liquidity come on chain. And if that happens, then you get, again, it's already deflationary, right? So it's just the speed at which we're deflationary. And I think that the faster and more volume we get, the positive. And that's what the whole utility sort of the whole utility narrative and the whole utility push that everybody's been that we want utility. That's the reason why, right? Because it benefits everything if you have utility. If we have all these utilities come and nobody uses them, then that's a whole other challenge and problem altogether. But I don't think that'll be the case.
Yeah, so I mean, really, it's everything. So yeah, we have the utility narrative, there's the burn narrative, and then there's the repeg narrative, right? But it's going to take everything. All three of those things are going to accelerate and support the burn overall. And I think setting up a protocol or something that can do a buyback burn will also help accelerate it even faster and increase the value of the token a lot more visibly than just a burn. But I'm going to start thinking on it, Lunkburn, because and I'm going to start having some conversations with people about that, because I think that could benefit everybody's what everybody
I just
wants.
want to chime in here.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Sencom, you can speak.
I just wanted to chime in here and say that I just checked some charts, and I think Luna Classic burned more than 1% of their supply already, which is quite impressive. More than 60 billion tokens. I think there are 5 point whatever trillion in circulations, and just before parity, you already burned 1% of the supply, which I think is massive. But what I wanted to say, you guys talked about different narratives and getting more liquidity in. I think one of the key things to focus on is creating a very clearly formulated vision and mission for everybody in the community. So something that you can, not an elevator pitch, something that you can say in a single sentence. This is our goal. And I think this will be critical to activate and motivate the community. It gives them direction, and it also gives people building on the chain a direction. And I think that's super, super critical, especially since I believe that when there's community, capital will follow. So as soon as new community or sub communities of Luna Classic start to form around different apps and ecosystems, liquidity is just a lagging indicator, just comes naturally. So I think one of the most important things for Luna Classic is now get a clearly formulated vision and mission, and since it's a decentralized system, maybe multiple thought leaders that continue to evolve this vision.
Well, I definitely think it's a place for DApp builders to come and build, right? And that's, I mean, you've got a deflationary token that arguably, as you continue to reduce supply, there's hopefully an increase in value there, right? That's I think what we all hope for. There's, and of course, not financial advice or anything. There's, the yeah, there's a whole host of. I think it's a great layer one blockchain that is lightning fast, right? Has a strong validator set, has a very large community, and we want to attract the most talented technical DApp builders to build the most innovative, products that crypto has seen. And I think that's that's what I would to see happen on this blockchain.
Real quick, on a couple of notes on that. One, I'm kind of stuck on this Moby Dick idea, so I'll circle back with you on that, Syncom, because I think it's gonna be $1 million idea, dude. And then two, I know that I've opened up conversations between LBA and some of the developers, some top developers on Juno, in that line of communication. I think there might be a bigger conversation to be had here in regards to this cross-chain collaboration, specifically with White Whale. And I'll let you decide how you want to go about that, LBA, because I know his name's Reese, that I introduced you to, and some of the ideas that he's pursuing.
Yeah, for sure. So those conversations are ongoing. We're going to be continuing to work to find innovative ways to bring more people over and interact. And it's about bringing capital onto the blockchain and finding innovative features that we can implement. And so, like one really interesting example that is the fee sharing module that Reese developed for Juno. We're implementing on Luna Classic blockchain, which allows the community to set a value for smart contract owners and employers. They get a fee sharing of the transaction fees. So those types of incentives are important that we look to continue to build on those and implement new features like that. So now, like Sencom was saying, we've built the foundation. Now it's time to put some building blocks on top of it, and get the folks, bring apps over that are already there, that already exist, because that's kind of a low hanging fruit. They're already developed, and we should bring them over and welcome them with open arms, and use their tools. And then what we also want is we want the great DApps that haven't been built yet. Somebody has a great idea for that, and they want to bring it over, and they can use Cencom and White Whale's building blocks to build their app on top of, interacting with the Luna Classic blockchain. And I think that's the direction that'll be all positive, moving in that direction.
I wanted to follow up on with you, LBA, on any information that you can provide regarding Ed's AI and any potential applications that change not just us, but say like White Whale, for example. Like, what are the potential benefits that you see just using your imagination? Doesn't mean it's like neither here nor there, but anything that you can project outward?
Oh, I mean, with AI, it's a tough thing to predict, right? Where I mean, to be honest, I don't think anybody predicted how good it would have gotten, how quickly it's gotten as good as it has. And if you've had a chance to, there's some testing that's been going on, and you can see the entropy application. I mean, it's remarkable. It basically, does some sort of feature and functionality as Midjourney or ChatGPT, and it's the theory of being able to. So the way that it's setting it up is that it's going to in some way benefit the Lunk stakers, and increase demand for the blockchain. So there's a lot of GPU processing power that's unused right now, because Ethereum miners in the past few years, they had bought up all the GPUs, and prices skyrocketed, and it made it very hard for machine learning you couldn't get GPUs at a reasonable price. There's all this unused power, compute power that's out there. And if those folks can be incentivized to use their compute power and provide that for Ed's AI entropy chain, and then that benefits Luna Classic, I mean, I think that's a win-win-win across the board.
I know Vin was the lucky one who's had exclusive access to it. I was wondering, as a request, maybe Jerry and I could get the opportunity to beta test it on our
I
end.
guess what your first thing image you're going to do is now PSX. You've mentioned it a few times here.
Yeah.
I wonder. So that'll be a good use case to see what happens when you plug it in.
No, absolutely, and I, it's just, I think it's just interesting to see, like, because we use Jerry and I, we use AI heavily with in conjunction with Adobe products such as Premiere, After Effects, and Photoshop and Illustrator. Like, I mean, as you've seen, like the ad we put out for this space, it was a combination of 5 different programs just to put all that together for you guys. But I don't know, to be able to say, like, we're now using blockchain based AI. I mean, that's pretty. I mean, that's just trying to get my head wrapped around that. I mean, it's already mind blowing, just to have that opportunity to say that.
On it to be in the same space as Midjourney and all of those products is pretty cool too, right? So it's really remarkable. I mean, Vin did his image of a cat. I did my image of dogs playing poker. I've seen other folks do other things. So yeah, I think you guys getting access to that is a good idea, and I'll see if I can arrange for that for you to test it out. And PSX, I was going to say that that marketing video you did for this space is excellent, and I would encourage you guys, if you can, keep building more of those things for all of Luna Classic. Those types of sets are great, and we want to draw more people into this environment and create a really positive, exciting space for folks. And I think that I was blown away by it. To be honest, it was really well done.
No, thanks. A lot of that would have to be credited to Miss JB, who's down there in the audience. I know she's probably tired out in Australia, but she's been a huge supporter as well. And then one of our other teammates, I know he wants to remain anonymous, but he's been great as well in helping us out. And we're starting to slowly expand our team a little bit, just to kind of make sure we don't want to create a Discord server where it ends up being like a community and it's like, oh Jesus, things are getting out of control. But for the team behind the scenes who are helping us put all these programs together, man, I do thank you so much. I mean, Jerry and I couldn't possibly be any more grateful than we already are at this moment. Jared, did you want to add something to it?
I was going to say, one person down there isn't asking to remain anonymous, are they?
I think so, but because I know there were some big talks about it, but I know he's in here, but I think I'll get clarity on that one if he wants to shout it or not.
We can, we can give a shout out later. Then it's not.
Yeah.
See, I think the story of Lunk is really an amazing story to tell PSX, and with utilities like White Whale coming over to the chain, and everybody loves an underdog story, and everybody loves especially when the underdog wins, right? So I think of something like I think of the Rocky movies, that you have that story of the fighter, is fighting their way back, and they want to, everybody cheers for that person. Many years ago, Tiger Woods fell from grace, and did all kinds of things that people didn't really appreciate or like, but then he reformed and he came back. And when he was playing in the Masters, every single person I think on the planet was rooting for him, and when he won, they were very excited. So I mean, this is the story of Lunk, right? We're in a very unique position where there was a fall from $116 down to where we are now, and technology though and the framework remained, and now it's a technical problem and a financial problem to solve, but we're those underdogs, we're and imagine if we can succeed, what that story will look like. And I think that's the story that folks like yourself can tell, that we're here, and other people are coming to help, other utilities, and we're going to work as a community to succeed.
And real quick, I know we're actually coming up on the 2-minute mark. Jesus Christ. Real quick, I'm still stuck on the Moby Dick idea, so if I can get 100% from everybody real quick, and I'm gonna so, and I want to hand it over to Syncom, see if he can add anything to the conversation real quick before we close it up.
I think Moby Dick, catch a dick. I think it's a fantastic slogan. You were just talking about behind the scenes. So most of you don't know it, but I had the chance to be on a couple of phone calls with Jerry and PSX, and I have to say what really surprised me is both are very, very handsome. I think that's really important here, because you need to understand, at White Whale we exclusively work with very handsome teams. You need to check out JG from Backbone Labs. He just posted a video where he shaves his head. You know, nice face, nice tattoos. So that's actually quite a critical thing. I don't know about Lungburn Army yet, but judging from his voice, he must be very handsome as well.
Well, I kind of have I already have the shaved head, so that fits right in there with that. So that's good that way.
I kind of pictured you having a full head of hair. What happened?
Well, when I was about 22, I started to realize it was. I used to have really long hair actually, but when I was about 22, I went and got a shorter haircut, spiky, and it started to get a little less and less. And by the time I had kids, I was like, okay, time to shave it, and I've had it like that for a long time. It's an ideal summer haircut, low maintenance, very, and people seem to like it. So I'm happy with it. You got to be comfortable in your own skin, right?
100%. Now, I guess we're at the hour now, so it's been a blast. I want to thank everyone in the audience for being here. I'm sure PSX has some last minute things to say. I just want to thank everybody that came in here to listen. I'm very excited about White Whale Protocol. I'm excited about learning more about Backbone Labs as well, and I'd love to start a conversation with them as soon as possible and find out exactly how it fits, not only with Luna Classic, but Migaloo and anything else that I might be deciding to explore independently. So go ahead, PSX.
Yeah, and I want to really quickly thank you, LBA and CENTCOM, for joining us, and to the general public and the audience here hanging out with us. It's been a great and fun, dynamic conversation on this open collaboration that we have here, and it's exciting to see where this these lines of communications are being established and how these conversations will take place to where we can push this community and the chain itself to a much more innovative environment. On top of that, and again, give LBA and CENTCOM a follow White Whale for more updates regarding their onboarding process to Luna Classic. And Backbone and Miss JB, thank you guys for joining us. And I want to give a quick shout out to Margic, who also played a pivotal role in establishing lines of communications with Juno to Luna Classic community, which he's down there, Margic21. So if you guys can show him some love or give him a little follow, he's been doing great behind the scenes as well. And with that, thank you guys. See you next time.
And Roundtable was Margic's idea. So I'll let the two guests there say their last piece, and then we'll end it. Go ahead,
Yeah.
LBA.
So I mean, thanks, Jerry and PSF, for pulling this together. CENTCOM, look forward to speaking with you again soon. We're here to help with onboarding and with making sure that your deployment is as smooth as possible on the blockchain. Any technical questions, we can provide assistance. So, but I know you guys probably won't need much of that, but we'll still offer that assistance. And like I think that there's a very vibrant community here, excited about all these DApps coming, and probably very excited to have you guys. And I think let's make it happen as soon as we can. Let's set a date and get the ball rolling. Right, the community will be very excited. We can get PSX to do all kinds of promotional material. He can include his new marketing materials in there too. And yeah, let's get started.
Yeah, Jerry, PSX, thanks for inviting me again. You guys are, one of the best hosts of Twitter Spaces I know, so thank you very much. LBA, thanks for hopping in after your play date with the kid. Appreciate that. Looking forward to deploy on Luna Classic with, all of our teams. Miss JB, thanks for the mask. So, guys, have a great evening or day or whatever it is, and you'll hear from us.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.